Hello everyone, my name is Carolyn McGee. I am here in the Wellness Universe Book Club to share with you my chapter from the best-selling book. And I am just going to quickly get in here on my phone so that, oh, thank you, Anna. Yes, it is my birthday. And you guys have the special treat of getting to see inside my new office in my new home. There's nothing up behind me. I just moved in. Hi, Jeanette. You can see my plants are still in boxes. So, yay! I'm so excited to share my birthday and my chapter with you. So I'm just going to wait a couple more minutes to see if any more people join. And then I'm going to dive into my chapter and take your questions. So let's see who's going to come in and join us here. Oh, Jeanette, thank you. Thank you. It is such an adventure. You know, I'm originally from North Carolina. I lived here until I was 7, and then my parents moved to back where they're from in New York. So I feel like I'm coming home. I'm in Asheville, and I'm very excited to be here. Okay, so I can see that. All right, well, unfortunately, my physical copy of the book is still on a truck sitting in my driveway. Yay, I get to unpack and unwrap all of my belongings for my birthday. How exciting is that? And yay, let me share this in a couple of places, and then I'm going to read. Okay, let's read. So I am going to read my chapter off of my computer because, as I mentioned, my book is still on a truck, but that's okay. It has the same words, the same beautiful words. And if you guys have not gotten your book, I highly recommend it. The stories in here are so amazing and authentic and heartwarming. And the tools and tips are just fabulous too. Some really amazing, powerful information in here. So my chapter is chapter 14, and it is called Tap and Rant, Released Blocked Energy for Empowered Clarity. And here we go. So this is my story. I was beyond frustrated. I had invested thousands of dollars in a high-end marketing program, and I could not fully engage in it. I felt as if I kept bumping into a glass wall of personal resistance. The harder I tried to do the work, the greater resistance I felt. I was beating myself up daily. I can't believe you are wasting all of that money. You never finish anything you start. You are such a loser. You should just get a job. You'll never be successful as a coach. I felt like a failure. As always, the universe truly does have our backs and will repeatedly give us lessons to learn and opportunities to grow and clear the patterns that keep us stuck. A friend invited me to attend a conference, and without even knowing what I was signing up for, I agreed to go. It was an emotional freedom technique, or EFT, also known as tapping conference. Tapping was a healing tool that I was trained in during my life coach certification. It was a tool that I didn't feel right or intuitive to me. I didn't get it. I had a huge resistance to using it for myself and for my clients. Using tapping also caused me stress because I felt like I was walking against the tide, and it drained so much of my energy just getting started with it. I also struggled with the formality of the way I was trained. Traditional EFT uses a setup phrase. Even though I fill in your issue, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. Starting with this statement never felt right to me. It felt counterintuitive to releasing the stored energy. The image of putting a band aid on a wound, tearing it off, and then leaving the wound raw and open came to mind. Even with my lack of faith using EFT, I felt compelled to sign up for the program. It was supposed to help me fully launch my life coaching business. I already had a successful pet care business and had done a lot of self development work. So I knew that the negative self talk wasn't true. And yet, it still ran through my mind and slowed my progress. I found that I could follow along in the training calls with the tapping, but I could not do it on my own. The harder I tried, the more difficult it became. I found myself shutting down and not wanting to engage in this expensive program I had signed up for. Committing to this program was my attempt to find a way to move stuck energy, but the opposite was happening. My education is in engineering management, and I worked 20 plus years in high tech manufacturing. I defaulted back to my analysis background to figure out what was blocking me. I made lists and analyzed emotions in an attempt to think my way out of my feelings. As I made my lists, a pattern rose to the surface. Every place I felt blocked or stuck had something to do with tapping. This was big. Once I realized the problem, I reached out to ask for help. This alone was big and healing step for me. I felt my energy shift just by asking for support. Two people agreed to tap with me regularly until I could move through the resistance. As a coach, I know the bigger the resistance to something, the higher the need for it is. These two amazing women had radically different styles of tapping. By opening myself up and being vulnerable about my challenge, I experienced different ways to use this modality for healing. Tapping with Jacqueline allowed me to see the script's value to move certain types of stuck energy. My engineer could see the value in this process. Lorraine gave me the gift of creatively approaching EFT using my own energy to make it work for me. We tapped on my resistance to tapping, and I felt the release of trapped energy. As I experienced the healing and energy shifts in my body, it became easier to tap on my own and be more aware of what worked or not using the two styles. What I learned was that there was a negativity around following the rules and doing it correctly. I got so wrapped up in doing the process that I couldn't feel my intuition guiding me in what to say. I wanted so badly to do it right that I was tense and not allowing that healing release. Once the resistance to tapping lessened, I could feel that the setup phase was not aligned with my energy and healing style. Giving myself the gift of skipping that part of the process opened many possibilities and allowed me to give myself permission to follow my intuition and guidance while tapping. Each time I tapped, I could feel the release in my body more deeply that allowed the healing energy to integrate. I felt more alive than I ever had. My intuition became even clearer. The next right step became easy to see, and I had the confidence to take inspired actions to make my coaching business a success. Tapping became my favorite healing modality. I discovered that I could fully release my resistance to following a script and embrace my intuitive nature. I knew when a script was optimal and when to follow my guidance. Even though I'm highly logical and analytical, the intuitive piece of knowing what energy was stuck was a gift that I could offer to myself and my clients. One day, when I was tapping, the energy felt harder to move. I started to pace around my living room while I tapped. And it came to me that movement always helped mental clarity and energy flow for me. This version of tapping, which I call tap and rant, was incredibly powerful for my clients and me as it helped move energy in a way that the traditional tapping did not. It was as if I was tricking my body and my clients' bodies into accepting the tapping without letting logic or resistance arise and get in the way. This allowed diving deeper into the issues that were blocked, providing for more powerful releases and shifts in people's energy away from the negative and into more healing and empowered awareness based on their true intuitive nature. I continue to offer the tap and rant method to my clients today, and I use it as part of my personal practices. To me, this approach allows for a more intuitive flow of the intention of the practice, and I hope you also find it to be an empowering and effective tool. So here is the tool. How EFT works. EFT, Emotional Freedom Technique, also known as tapping, is the release of trapped energy in our physical bodies. When we experience trauma or a negative emotion, the vibration of that event is stored in our physical body. Unless we consciously release that stored vibration, it blocks the flow of energy in our body. This can cause illness, pain, and lack of energy. We can feel disoriented, experience a lack of motivation to complete tasks, or feel disconnected from life. Tapping opens the energy circuits of your meridians to clear any trapped energy. When we don't fully feel or process an emotion, the emotion gets stuck and blocks the flow. EFT brings those stuck emotions to the surface, allowing them to be healed and released. Traditional EFT was first introduced by Gary Craig in 1995. The technique is based on tapping with your fingers on certain points associated with the Chinese meridian system. The meridian system is a circuit of energy points in the physical body associated with your organs and emotions. When these energy points are open, energy flows easily and cleanly in our bodies. When we don't fully process an experience, the points become blocked. Imagine the meridian system as blood vessels for your energy, with narrowing the flow with each negative experience. Traditional EFT uses a setup phrase to frame the release that we are intending. Even though I, fill in your issue, I deeply and completely love and accept myself. This is tapped on the karate chop point on the side of the hand. Although the traditional method might work for some, I have found that the most effective method for my clients and for me is what I call the tap and rant process. So this process goes as follows. The key to this process is combining free-form thoughts, tapping, and movement. So number one, think of something that's bothering you. 2, then start to pace somewhere safe. According to Google, pacing means to walk at a steady and constant speed, especially back and forth, and as an expression of one's anxiety or annoyance. 3, do a stream of consciousness, saying anything that comes into your mind out loud as you tap through the points described below. In between your eyes at the eyebrow, on the side of each eye at the temple, under the eyes, under the nose, on the chin, just below your collarbone, under each arm, and the top of your head. Please note that the tap and rant method does not require that one also employ the karate chop point to be effective. But suppose one finds this place to help release the energy. In that case, I recommend it's done without using the statement used with the traditional process and instead focusing on the ranting process that I have developed. For this stress releasing method to be effective, you don't have to hit each point precisely. Just tap each point 5 to 7 times and move on to the next point. If you feel like you need to stay on one point longer, then follow your intuition. The power of this exercise is in moving the energy and getting into a flow. It is the combination of the movement in our bodies with the tapping on the meridian points and the vocalization of what is causing you the stress that quickly releases the trapped energy. Tapping can feel counterintuitive when first starting. The goal is to amplify the negative emotion so that it can be released. You want to fully feel the emotion as you are tapping so that it's completely removed. You do not need to fear that you are attracting more negativity as it is being released from your body. So here's a stress release tapping example. I am so stressed out. I don't believe that the universe is conspiring in my favor. Everything is stacked against me. Nothing is going my way. I am so stressed out. Nothing is working for me. Life is so incredibly difficult. I cannot believe how challenging life is. I have no one who supports me. I am all alone. I have to do everything myself. Everything I touch is falling apart. Nothing is easy. Life is stressful. Okay, so here's a little bonus. That shake that I just did is a stress relief. So that means that the energy is moved. So you want to verbalize the old thought pattern, that unconscious tape in your mind that is negative. This is what you want to speak out loud. It may sound awkward to verbalize what we have termed a negative thought, but those are the subconscious thought patterns running through our body and our energy system all the time. By speaking them out loud, by raising that fight or flight response in our bodies as we tap on these meridian points, we are releasing the energetic charge that has been trapped in our body for sometimes decades. I like to use both hands and tap on both sides at the same time to amplify the energy release. As you are doing this freeform consciousness tapping, you may remember certain events from your life, or certain memories may come up. When this occurs, follow the energy, speak it out loud, and allow it all to be released. As emotions and feelings come up, incorporate those into your rant. You will know when the cycle is complete when you experience a shift in energy. This may be a yawn, burp, chills, flushing on your skin, or a shudder. As you practice, you will recognize when you release and feel more peace. Please note that there is no right way and there is no wrong way to move through this process and vocalize what is coming up. There's only energy to be moved. And using the tap and rant method is an approach that I have found that enables this to happen effectively and rapidly. As you are the best advocate for you and your journey, you will know how the tap and rant method will best serve you. You will be able to have your inner intuition guide you to the best way to employ this method. The more you practice this modality, the more energy you will have, and the clearer your thoughts and intuitive connection will be. Like me, you may benefit from the support of a coach or a guide to help you through the process. If so, and you would like my assistance and support, please feel free to reach out to me. So, let's see. Yeah, Anna, those voices. I know, Jeanette, those voices in our heads. Boy, they can be so mean. I call them our girl gang. You know, those mean girls that live in our heads. That can be really tough. And Anna, I love tapping. It's incredible. I was a skeptic, but it does work, Anna. It's just so powerful. So powerful. So does anybody else have any comments or questions? Did you like the way I had that release? I kind of modeled it for you there. I know it's fun how you can't plan things like this, right? It's like, um, just, God and I'm a big angel worker, and I just set the intention that this live would show people what the value is of doing that tapping. Now, normally when I'm doing that tapping, I would actually be up and moving, but today I had to sit in place. Jeanette reminds me of when my dog shakes after another dog barks at him. Yeah, He's literally shaking off that energy and allowing it to not get stuck in our bodies. One of the beautiful things about animals is that they're so present. They do not hold on to the energy. One of the challenges that we have as humans is that we store the energy. When we have that fight, flight, or freeze, we kind of pack it into those meridian systems and those energy lines in our body, and allow them to block it, so that we're continually almost like refiring with the same uh, energy in our systems. So doing that tapping, doing the vocalization of those negative voices and those thought patterns that we have, it just allows it to move through us, and it opens up that circuitry. You can imagine if you've got a faucet and you've got it on a drip. So there's a block in there somewhere. There's a energy that's closed. That's sometimes the way we live. We're living with a very small flow of energy. But when we do tapping, and especially when we do the tap and rant and move piece of it, then it's like we're just opening up that faucet and allowing the energy to flow much clearer. So Jeanette says, I also like to shake my hands and let the energy go. Yeah, this is a great one to do. Absolutely. I like to do a little shimmy also, kind of shake out my legs. I feel like there's a Tai Chi move where you kind of wipe your arms and move the energy down through you, and you move your body and all the way down to your feet. That's another great way to kind of clear your energetic system after you've been doing some of this tapping and ranting movement. So Anna, if you had one go-to tapping point, what would I suggest? Okay, I suggest the collarbone. There's 2 points here. There's one right in here, and I do not remember exactly what it is associated with. I think it's the lungs, and then further out is grief. So if you tap anywhere in here, you are going to be able to release a lot of stuck energy. And it's also easy to do. Another way that I utilize tapping is when I'm driving. I will just kind of tap gently on one side as I'm driving, because when you're driving, you're actually kind of doing a version of meditation. You're going to have because your mind is kind of distracted, and you can go into a space where it's easier for things to come in. So you think about things that bother you, or you might just get, a little somebody cutting you off, which can raise up anger. One of the biggest thing that I have seen in my clients, the majority of my clients are women, is we were never allowed or taught how to express anger. Be a good little girl, tap that all down. You don't get angry. And so there's so much stored anger in our physical bodies. And when we are driving or doing something else, it tends to seep out a little bit more. So by doing that tapping, when we're doing that, and you can do the rant, even if you're driving, you can do that free-form consciousness thing while you're driving and tapping, you're going to release a lot of energy. And one of the beautiful things that my guides do, and I'm sure your guides are sitting there waiting for you to acknowledge them, that they're doing the same thing too, is keep handing me opportunities to move the energy. When I first started this process many, many years ago, I would actually get angry that the same thing kept repeating itself. It was kind of crazy. But then I realized it's like peeling an onion, and there's this, you remove part of the process, and then there's another little piece that needs to come out. And so each time I tap, each time I acknowledge the stuck energy, it removes it at a different level. And so now when something happens, I'm like, yay, more energy, moving more energy. Look at me, clearing more stuff. So It's just, it's amazing. And when you shift your attitude like that too, and you step into gratitude, like Miss Jeanette over there, the gratitude queen, when we really step into gratitude for these experiences, they move through our bodies so much faster. So tap away, my friends. And Anna, so grateful for you and your contribution to your book. Thank you, Anna. I am so grateful to be a Premium Plus member of the Wellness Universe and to be part of this amazing book, an amazing community. So if people haven't joined the Wellness Universe, I highly recommend that you do. It's just an incredible resource. So much given here, given freely, and given with love. So does anybody have anybody else? Oh, look at all those stars, our little hearts. Yes, we love hearts. Anybody have any other questions, comments, observations? It's been fun. What a way to spend my birthday. Be here with all you lovely people on the Wellness Universe and in our book group. And this afternoon, I'm getting all of my belongings moving into my house, so I get to unwrap. Ooh, such an awesome day. Jeanette says, great information presentation of your chapter. Thank you, Jeanette. And Anna, oh, I love that little the little emoji with the heart eyes. Love, love, love hearts. Yes, it is a treat. It's such a it's like a win-win, you know? That's the way I love to look at situations now. It's like finding that beautiful silver lining. How can how can life be easier? How can I find what the gift is in everything? Because there's always a gift. There's always a gift in everything. So there. And Anna says, happy holidays, happy moving in. Yes. And Jeanette, I'm happy I'm sharing my birthday with you guys too. Oh, thanks for the hearts, Jennifer. Yay. Okay, well, if no one else has any other comments, I am going to sign off and go unpack stuff. But I did put all of my contact information in there, so if what I have to say resonates with you, please reach out. Even if you just want to be friends, I love friends and met some really amazing people through Facebook, so connect there and have a fabulous day. Bye-bye for now. Mwah.